Oh, okay. I think some of you are new to Teams, right? This is your first time you're using Teams. I'm sure. So I'm sure some of you will be having challenges here and there. But no worry, I think I'll try and spend some time to take you through the interface a little. If I'm not able to do that, I'll be meeting you tomorrow, data study skills, and I'll try and teach you more about Teams. I'm sure most of you are only used to Zoom and you'll be so I think let me just start. Before we start, I think there's a new class, Diploma in IT, Distance Learning. I believe you can all hear me, right? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so I just want to take the opportunity to get to know you. Let me start first. My name is Justice Ni Aitekwe, and I work with Center for Online Learning and Teaching. I have a background in computer science. As the same, I have background in instructional technology or designing. Then I have another background in e-learning, that is teaching online and stuff. Then I also have another background in distance learning. So my course I'm going to use a lot of tools so that at least I bridge the gap so that you guys can feel how you can use technology to engage people, even if the students are not around you or you're in the same structure or building with them. Okay, so that's basically me. I've been with GCTU for the past almost 10 years, 9.5 years, and counting. So I'm a facilitator for today. I'm teaching you fundamentals of computing, computing hardware and software. This course is basically the foundation. If you want to take any field in IT, in whether be computer science, want to be a programmer, you want to go into cybersecurity. No, if you want to have a career in IT, you have to understand the fundamentals. And basically everything you do stands on what I'm about to teach you. I'm sure some of you have done a little courses in that before, so it won't be anything extraordinary. It's just we'll learn a few things and maybe certain things you don't know will add up to it. Those that you know, fine. You just take it from there. My class is going to be more practical and engaging. That's the way I teach. Um, I'll try my possible best to bridge the theory with practical knowledge. But in case we are not able to do some of the practicals online, thank God we have a face-to-face section. When we meet face-to-face, we can handle all those practical stuff we're not able to do online. Okay. So basically that's me. I wish I could know you. And let's keep it simple. Your name, where you are connecting from, whether you are in Accra, whether you are in Eastern region, whether you are not in Ghana, what you do. I think that will help me. What you do. I want to know the caliber of students I have in the classroom because I know most of you are working. So if I'm able to know the caliber of students I have, it will help me to tailor my examples because sometimes some of the examples I have to give, I have to tailor it so that you understand it very well. I can't be using examples that people that have stayed all their life in America will understand, and you as a Ghanaian, you will understand. Help you understand. So your name, where you are at the moment, and what you do. If you are a student, fine. If you are not doing anything, fine. You can just tell you're a student or unemployed. And also let us know because probably this is where you connect. You can get opportunity over here. Maybe there's someone who probably have opportunity to give you a job somewhere. So let us know if you're unemployed. If you are a student, let us know. If you are working, to let us know so that, as I said, it will help me tailor the examples I'll be giving as we proceed. So if you are ready to talk, I don't want to mention names. Let's use 10 minutes to do that, then we can start. So you can just raise your hand, I call you, then you just introduce yourself to us. All right, so who is it? Samuel Sapon. Samuel, you can go ahead.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm a pop attendant. I work at Shell Filling Station at pen test industrial area.
Okay, all right. So nice to have you here. This is you are in Accra. Okay,
Yes,
you are in
please.
Accra.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So Samuel, we've heard from Samuel. We have Richard. Richard.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'm
Richard.
Richard. Honestly, from Obuasi. I'm a graphic designer.
Okay, okay, Richard, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Thank you, Richard. Then I think we have Nathaniel.
Hello, sir.
Nathaniel.
Good morning.
Yes, yeah, good morning.
I am Nathaniel. I'm Accra, and I work at Falco Maintenance Technician. So,
The line is not very clear. If you can just match your voice a little for us.
all right, sir. Look, are you hearing me now?
Yes, please.
So, I am Nathaniel. I'm in Accra. I work at Falco as a maintenance technician.
Okay, okay. Nice to have you here, Nathaniel. Okay. All right, thank you. Now we have another Richmond Natri, right?
Yeah,
If I can't
yes,
get the name right, don't worry.
yeah,
You can
that
just
is
correct.
correct. That is
Okay.
correct, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, this is Richmond Kofi Nyatwi.
Okay,
I work with Gas Central Educational Directorate as a computing facilitator in one of the GHS. And
okay,
I'm in Accra.
okay. All right. Nice to have you here. We are at the right place. Okay. All right. So then we have Samuel Aqua.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. My name is Samuel Akwa, and then I work in an IT company as a system support technician.
Okay. Samuel. All right. That's good. That's good. Then the next person we have Prince. Prince Owusu.
Hi, good morning, sir. My name is Prince Owusu. I'm in Accra and I work at Fidelity Bank head office at Rich. I'm at the retail department. I work with the product unit. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Nice to have you here, Prince. Then we have Gilbert. Gilbert, I think if you don't want to talk, you can also use the message. You can use the chat. I can equally go there and read so that we can be fast. So if you don't want to talk, you can just use your chat. Just type, introduce yourself in the chat message, and I'll read. So we have Gilbert.
Okay,
Gilbert.
so I am Gilbert Mensah from Dansoma. I am currently unemployment at the moment.
Okay. Don't worry. Someone will link you with a job very soon. Before you finish your course, you get a job.
All right.
We have Gabriel. Gabriel Ado.
Good morning, sir.
Gabriel. Yeah, good morning.
I'm Gabriel Ado. I'm a teller at Equipment Cooperative Credit Union. I'm in the Eastern region.
Okay, Gabriel. Nice to have you here. All right. Then we have Jan. We have Jan. Jan.
I'm John Augustine Chair, a police officer at Tesano Divisional CID.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, Jan, you are close to us, eh?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Then we have Madeleine.
Yeah, I'm Joy. I'm a graphic designer. I work at Thomas School.
Okay.
At North Industrial area.
Okay. Okay. All right. So nice to have you, Madeleine. It's like most of you are just around. You are in Accra. You're not far from the school. All right. Then we have Moses Osei. Moses.
Good morning, sir. My name is Moses Osei from Western Region, Takrady.
Okay.
I'm a CCTV operator in the mining industry.
Okay. All right. Moses, nice to have you here. Then we have David. David Maun. Sorry, I think if I can't spell the name, David Asari. But what's the middle name,
Yes.
please? David.
Maunyaga.
Maunyaga. Okay. All right. So David, you can go ahead.
All right, please. I'm David Asari, and I work with a logistics company as a marketing manager and then a graphic designer.
Okay. I can see a lot of different backgrounds here. That's going to make the class very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm from Tema as well. So.
Okay, good. All right, so thanks, David. Then we have Peter.
Good morning, sir. Please,
Yeah,
my
good
name
morning,
is
Peter.
Peter Daudi. I'm a firefighter from Ebu right now.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So let me switch to the chat and let's see. We have Rama Musa, who is a student. Rama, you are welcome. Then we have Desmond Edu connecting from Koforidua. He works at the rural bank in Koforidua. All right. Then we have Michael from Pokwasi. He sells phone accessories. So if any of you need any phone accessories, Michael is there. You can just contact Michael. Then we have Selena Champo in Accra, and she works with national security. Okay, that's good. So at least you have a national security person. Or if you have any issue, you have any challenge, at least you have someone you can call. Okay. Then we have good morning. We have Stephen Odro from Dansoman, and he sells fabrics. Oh, that's really good. I really love the combination I have in the class. Then I have John Aheto, collecting from Accra, a credit officer. We have Yvonne, who is a school administrator. We have Augustine Church, a police officer at Tesano. Isaac Iwia, who is a pharmacist from La Paz. Lamte, Godsent, Odoko. I work with Telecel, Ghana, and Experience Center Executive. Wow. Okay, then I have Roland Boatin. He also deals in phones. We have, and a lot. We have Andy, who is also at National Security. Then we have Holy, who is also a police officer at TESAC. So you are all welcome to this section. I really love the combination I have. So which means I have to really try my possible best. Because of this, I have to go back and change some of the examples I have in my earlier slides. That's very important, and that's the reason why I decided to do this this short introduction. So I just have to go back and make sure the other examples I'll be bringing or putting into the slide you can relate to. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Before I start everything, I think I met you guys earlier to introduce you to the LMS platform, which I'm sure majority of you were there. But in case you were not available or you were not there at then, or probably you've not gotten admission or you didn't join, a video was also shared. I don't know if you watch it. If you've not watched it, I'm going to just spend 10 minutes or 5 minutes to just go through the LMS interface and make sure all of you are, if you are not able to log in after the section, try and get in touch so that I can set you up. Because my course I'll be teaching, I'm going to use the LMS I'm just going to use the LMS thoroughly. So just keep that in mind. I'll not be pushing the slides there for you to download. Some of the materials you can't download. You have to read on the LMS. That's how I'm going to structure my courses. So some of the slide, I'll embed it in the LMS. You can't download. You have to read. If you want to download them, you have to take a screenshot of them just to make sure you always visit the LMS platform. Okay. Also, on my platform, I've set activity tracking. I'll be tracking your activities. So the slides that it will be embedded on the platform, I'll wait to be sure that everybody in the class has watched or listened to the slide. I can track it. As soon as I notice everybody has watched or listened to that, or I've watched that slide or watched that video, then I can make it available for you to download. Because I know when I put it for you to download, you will never access it. So one person will download and share it for the whole class. We'll be putting it in the WhatsApp platform, and that's not what we want to achieve. We want you to make the LMS platform your friend, your Bible, the go-to. Every morning, you have to, after you read your Bible or read your Quran, or you pour your libation, whatever you believe in, the next two is to visit the LMS platform. And we have to try and make sure we push you to do that until it becomes a regular something you can't do without. Like the way you always on your laptop or on your phone, as soon as you take your phone, you check what's up. You can't do without your phone. And that's how we want your 2 years here should be like. So just keep that in mind. So let me quickly open my browser and share my screen for those who didn't get a chance to use the LMS. So the LMS link is, let me just share my screen.
Hello, Sir Justice.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I heard you say 2 years.
You are a diploma student, right? This is a diploma class, or
But
you
I
joined
think
the
I'm
wrong
in the wrong
class.
class.
They
Yeah.
joined the wrong class. This is diploma in IT. So if they joined the wrong class, so just for that, it is diploma in IT, fundamentals of computing, hardware, and software. So if you are in BIT, kindly check the links again and join the right link. So this is for DIT, diploma student, diploma in IT. Okay, so if you are not in this class, kindly exit, then look for the right link or contact ICD, the official number, so that they can send you the correct link that you join the class. Okay, all right. Thank you. So let me share my screen. All right. I believe my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So if you are new and you don't know anything about the learning management system, all that you need to do is open any browser of your choice. Then you go to lms.gct.edu.gh, or you can even open Google and type GCT LMS, and that's equally also fine. So if you type GCT LMS, you'll be directed to a page like this, where you will be directed to the homepage or the landing page of the learning management system. Okay, so let me copy the link and share it in the chat box, so that those who don't have the link. Okay, so I've shared the link in the chat box. Okay, so when you go through we have some sliders you can just go through. The interface has changed a little, because I think the time I did orientation, this wasn't the interface. So don't worry, we just have to keep on changing it for it to look much better and appealing to the eye. Okay, so you can just go through the slider. The pictures will be changing it from time to time. Then we have the about, but over here we just created a login and how to reset your password video. And I believe all of you have activated your Microsoft Outlook account. So the LMS is linked to the Microsoft Outlook account. So just keep that in mind. So this is a short video on how you can log in for the first time. And in case you misplace your password, or you think your password has been compromised, this is how you can reset the password. So the links are here, the videos are here. Then we have South announcements, which we populate it from time to time. As I said, we usually visit the official university website. We look for information that is related to students, and we populate it on the site announcements, because we know students will be visiting the LMS on daily basis, not the website. Okay, so before you log in any day, any blessed day, kindly just spend like a minute or few seconds, go through the site announcements and see whether there is an announcement there that is related to you or your program or anything. I think last time there was even announcements for students to travel to Canada and stuff. People didn't hear it on time. The time they got to the deadline has passed. Okay, so we have some exchange programs which sometimes opportunities comes, we put it there. So you just have to go through. If you're interested, you follow the right contest. If there are certain things you need to do, you do. Then you can join the team that will be traveling to where the announcement is leading to. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So to log in, what you do is you click on the login at the right top corner, which will lead you to the login page. Okay, so at the login page, we have what username and password. Okay, so at the username column, you have to type your student's ID. If you want to use the email, because that's username or email, if you want to use the email, then you enter your student's email, not your personal email. Just keep that in mind. Then at the password column, for the first time, you use the password that has been stated here. And as soon as you log in, the system will take you to a page to change the password to your own password. Okay. So that's basically how to log in onto the platform. And I think the last time we spoke about the interface and how you can navigate around. So if you've not watched that video, I'll urge you to watch that video so that you understand some of the things we covered the last time. Even though I'll be meeting you again in digital studies skills, so I'll be meeting you when we always go back if some of you have questions about the LMS for me to clarify it before we continue with our digital study skills. I believe on the LMS currently, how many of you have been able to log in to the LMS? Can I get a 1 in the chat box, number 1? How many of you have been able to log into the LMS? 1. Can I get 1 in the chat box, in the message box? Okay, so good. I have 3. So all of you needs to log into the LMS. Okay. All right. So that's good. That's good. So I think most of you are on the LMS, been able to log in. That's great. So on the LMS, you have to navigate to your course page. Okay. So we are doing fundamentals of computer fundamentals. So I have it here, fundamentals of computing hardware and software. So I have started. I'll urge you also start your courses for the semester. So if you've not done that, try and start it. I taught it the last time how it can be done. And also, if you go through your course pages, I'm sure you will not see introduction to digital study skills. So don't be worried. Don't be worried. By tomorrow, it will be active. It's already here, but I've hidden it. I'm just working on the content. So by tomorrow, it will be active. So just keep that in mind. So don't be worried. But I believe all of you can see your courses for the semester apart from introduction to digital study skills. In case you don't see any of your courses, you have to alert us so that we rectify it. Okay, so let's go to the course page. And I'm just going to take a little time. Today is introduction, so I will not waste much time here because today is just first day. I don't have to just speed up like that. We'll just do some few things. If you are not able to finish with today's slide, we can just catch up next week and do what we will be doing next week. Okay. So this is the platform. Okay. So we have this platform. We have latest announcements. I was supposed to put an announcement there today to let you know that we have a class today, but I didn't know that. But I think from next time I'll be doing that. If I give you assignments, I'll be giving you announcements. So just keep that in mind. Upcoming events, no. So all this, and then we have, okay, so let's go through the course page itself. Now, this, I'll be populating it by close of the week. I'm going to populate everything from week 1 to your final week. I have everything structured already. It's just I want to do it in a nice way that you will enjoy the platform. That will push you to come to the platform all the time. I don't want to just dump it there. So I'm just finding a way to redesign it in a nice way for you. That's why the page hasn't been populated yet. So I'll be doing that within the week. So before next week, you'll see week module 2, module 3, and the rest. Okay. Now from the cover page, we have a custom chat room, which I'll be using once in a while. So just keep that in mind. And in my class too, I can just let us switch to the LMS at any time. I'll be using the LMS or slides to teach, but every point in time, I can just switch the class that we should go to the LMS and do something instantly. And that we call it the flip classroom. So just keep in mind, we can be flipping from time to time. Okay. Then we have the forum discussion. Okay. So we have a forum discussion for this course page. Now, what I have designed this page is, this is the forum discussion page for the class. Every discussion, you come here. I'm not creating discussion in each section like week 1. So if week 1, we have a discussion, I'll create a link that will bring you to this discussion page for you to contribute. If week 2, we have discussion, the link will be down to this page. So this is the discussion or forum page for the class. Anytime I tell the class I've posted a discussion, I heard you all, you have to come here and contribute. I hope we are following. Are we here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Now,
Yes, please.
on this same page, we have this section that I've named CIT. Let me try and zoom the page a little. I think this one is better. CIT, keywords and explanation. So this is going to be our library. This is going to be our library. Now, I'll be populating the library and I'll urge you also to help me populate it. Just keep that in mind. I'm not going to do the library myself. And if you look at the right side, you can see CIT keywords, computer, and electronic devices that accept data input process. So that's a keyword. So which means when you meet any keyword, certain keywords on the platform, you should be able to see the definition and the system will link it up for you. That's how it works. So I've only populated computer, and when you go inside like this, keywords and explanation, I've only added computer to it. That's it. Now, I've given options for you students to also add a keywords. So whilst you are studying the course, if you meet something, maybe CPU, you can always come add entry like this, maybe CPU, then CPU, okay? Then definition, what does it stand for? You can, if you know the definition, you put it there. Or if you want to explain what it stands for. So it stands for Central Processing Unit, right? If you know the definition of it, you just add it. So let me just go to Google and just type CPU so that it will be full. I want you guys to see how it works. And we are all going to use it to learn. So a central processing unit is the brain of blah, blah, blah. Okay, hardware. So let me put it here. Okay. And let me come back to the platform and let me put it there. Okay. So a central processing is open for the brain of a computer. Then after that, you can just save it. So let me auto link it. This entry should be linked automatically. So I'll try and do that behind the scene. Okay. Okay, so I'll do that so that you don't need to do all these things. Because I'm the admin, as soon as I add the entry, it works, it picks and comes automatically. So now if I go back to the keywords again from the course description, if I should go back to the keywords side again, we now have computer and CPU. I believe you can all see it. So I've given you chance to also update it. But when you update or add certain words, I will need to approve it first so that not everyone will be putting anything there. So I'll come on daily basis. I'll see if some of you have added some keywords related to the course. It should be related to the course. So as you are studying and there are some keywords, you can always come to the platform and add it there. And that will also help you and the entire class. I hope you are all following. The purpose of this is for us to learn, not just for me to teach you. I'm not going to teach you, I'm going to guide you to learn. And that's the difference between being a teacher and a lecturer. So I'm going to guide you. Some of the things you have to do it yourself, and I'll be there to guide you, make sure you do the right thing. If I think I have to add up to some of the things, I'll just add up. And I'll be doing a lot of presentation. I may give you some of the even topics to go and do your own research and come and teach the whole class. So just keep that in mind. So you don't have the topics there. I'll show you the course outline. You see the topics. But at a point in time, I will assign some of the topics to you in groups. And the class, I'm glad the class size is not also that large. So after this session, course rep, what's your class size? Course rep, do you have information about the class size? Course rep. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hey, is anyone here?
Sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Hey, I thought all of you are going to sleep. Oh. So what's the class size? Is the course rep around? Okay, so on the platform, let me check on the platform since no one is talking. On the platform, the number of participants, I have 32 participants, that's including me. So if I take myself off, we have 31. So actually we have 31. So out of the 31, let's say if we do 6 in a group, we are going to have what, 5 groups. So the last group will be +1. So I'll urge you, course rep, to create 5 groups for this particular class. You have to do it yourself. Or you want me to do it for you? Because I can just set something on the LMS and can just shuffle you guys and put you in groups. But I want you guys to do it yourself. So you should find a way to do that. Hello? Yes?
Yeah, yes, if you can do it for us, I think that would be.
You want me to do it for us? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Then if you want me to do it, then what I'll do is I will, after the section, I'll try and create the groups. Then the course rep have to contact me. I'll put the group, I'll send a group list to the course rep so that you know the group that I put you in.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay,
And
sir.
after I give you the group, I'll do it group 1 up to group 5, but I'll give you a chance to team up and rename your group. I don't want to say group 1, group 2. I want a name like hardware, group software, group virus. Do you understand? So after I give you the group, you have to come up with a name for your group. Then we'll get to a session. I'll assign some of the topics to you. One topic, I'll divide it. Maybe group virus will handle chapter 1, chapter 2. Another group will handle. Then you do your own individual work and come and present. And that will also give you marks. So just keep that in mind. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right. I think that is fine so that we can all learn. So when you are doing group representation, if I have to add up, I'll add up and we are good to go. So that's it for the keyword. So as soon as you add any content, I'll get a chance to look at it. If I think it's relevant to what we are teaching, I'll approve it and it will be added. If it's not relevant, I'll delete it. So I've done 2. I'll wish by next week, latest by Wednesday, if I should come back, I should say that some of you have started adding keywords, more keywords to it. And I believe you can do it, right? It's not anything difficult. Right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So that's it. Let's go back again. Today, I'm just trying to take us through, then we can just start. Then we have, this is the study guide for the course. So we call it study guide or the learning, the course outline. Okay, so I will download. So we have the course outline first, but this is the version 1. I'm not done with it, but I have to put it down. I've done a lot. As I said, I'm trying to give you the best of this course page. So I've done a lot. I've uploaded it, but after I've done with the final edition, I'll change it and I'll alert you that I've updated it, so you can go back and download the final version of it. I just want you to have it so that at least you can read ahead and know what next week we'll be doing, the other week we'll be doing. If you have to get your own stuffs, read ahead, you can equally do that. Then we have extra reading material. Currently, I haven't added anything there, but I'll be doing it. The books I'm using for your destiny, I'm going to put everything there. And I'll be adding a lot of books. Sometimes students always only rely on the slides the lecturers give. But I'll be adding books that sometimes some are like 300 pages, some are 100 pages, and the rest. Just spend time and read, not all of them, but majority of them. And also what will be in the book, probably not everything will cover, but if you think you have ample time and you can read all of them, you can read all the other pages that you've not covered. Okay. Now, the books that I'll be adding, some may be current, some may be old, like maybe 10 years ago books, 15 years ago books. Even though IT revolve and is changing, certain things doesn't change, especially when it comes to the fundamentals. The fundamentals, which is you have to go back to the history, go back to the ancient books how computers started and everything. So some of the books I'll be uploading may probably getting to the end, or some content may be updated. But I uploaded it because there are some content there that probably we will need for the class. So when you see at old books there, don't think why are you getting old books. Also, this also give you chance for you to also look for your own books. That doesn't mean what the lecturer is giving you is solely what you are supposed to be reading. You can, if you have other books elsewhere, you can equally read it. Also, feel free if you think you have another book, a book that you want to share, you can just send it to me. I go through. If I think the book is relevant, I can equally add it to the extra book. So if you have some book somewhere you think is good, you can give it to us or send it to me. I can add it to the extra so that your colleagues can also benefit from that book. Bear in mind, IT is very broad, and sometimes we will not get a chance to cover everything. We can't get a chance because the time is limited. So it's up to you. After even the semester end, it's up to you to go back to the books. The topics that were not treated, you can, if you can self-study, you can self-study and build on it and add it to your knowledge. So just keep that in mind. So I'll be adding the books, extra books here. Currently, it's empty. So when I click on it, it's empty. So there, I just want you to know so that you will not come and complain that you don't have books. I know how students behave. So just keep that in mind. Then this is the team live section. I've also placed it on the platform. At the beginning of this section, some of your colleagues were calling me what's happening that they don't have the link. So I don't know why, but I think one guy called me that he was out of the country, he's in somewhere, Somalia or something. So I have the link here. So in case you want to join the class anytime and you don't have access to the link, or you split your phone and you don't have access to the WhatsApp link, always log into the LMS and you can get the link to join the class. I believe we are okay with that. Are we okay with?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good. So you can see the CPU has come here, has come to the right side. Okay, so as I said, we'll be updating it, we'll be adding more entries to it so that we get those things. Now let me come to the left side. Now, sorry, the right side of the platform. So we've done the latest announcement, the upcoming event, keywords. Then we have activities. So the activities is going to categorize things we have on the platform into activities. So we have chat, we have forum, we have glossary. Glossary is the keywords. The platform calls it glossaries. Okay. So when you see glossary, we are talking about the keywords section of the platform. Okay. Then you have interactive content. Interactive content, I have two on the page. You can see one. I'll enable this one right now. I enable this one right now. So we have two. So when I click on interactive content, I'm going to see two. We have quiz. This quiz, I'll be up there. I'm going to put some few quiz questions there, but don't worry. Maybe next time we'll do that one. Okay. I'll take that one off today, from today. Then we have the resources. Okay. So this is the course page. I'm going to put the slide. I ordered to put the slide here. So I'll share the slide with you. I'll put it on the platform after the section for you to get to know what we are going to use to teach. So at this point, I think I can move to the slide, then we can begin. First, let me just go to the study guide. Let's understand the study guide first, then we can now proceed. So I click and I open, I download it. And so this is the study guide. I believe you can also see the study guide. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let's go through the study guide. Okay, good. It's visible now. So this is the study guide, Diploma Information Technology Study Guide. Okay, so that's the course code, Fundamentals for Computing, Hardware, and Software. So we have the study guide, and that's my name. Now, this is the content, the course outline for the study guide. So we are going to look at the course website, instructor. So let's keep and let's move to. So this link takes you to the course page. So even if you click on it, you have it on your machine, you click on it automatically, it takes you to the course page. So let me click on it, and that takes me to the course page straight. Okay. So that's the course page. Then you have, there's my email and there's my WhatsApp number. I prefer WhatsApp to calls. So those of you who have been calling me, sometimes you call me and I don't pick because the calling is too much for me. So I'm beginning to start having ear problems. So I'll prefer WhatsApp. So I'll prefer more WhatsApp. When you send WhatsApp, I'll reply. Probably not instant, but I'll still reply. So just try and do the WhatsApp more than the calls. Okay. So that's the WhatsApp. If you WhatsApp me and I think your information, your issue needs calling, I'll call you. So just there's my number. Then in case you have any challenge, there's ICD contact. You can always reach out to ICD. And I believe you already have it. So we have the course overview. And this course is going to introduce you to the fundamental concepts of hardware and software and present to the computer system as an integrated. So you can just read through. So students will explore the historical development of computers. We look at hardware components, memory, operating system, software. So that's basically what this whole course is about. We will explore, look at processing, programming, language, fundamental, networking, basic, cybersecurity, ethical, legal use, and some few emerging technologies. Okay, so we will do a little of maybe Microsoft Word. We will look at some of the Microsoft suites. We have a section that we'll use one day to look at the Microsoft suites. So we will do Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I'm not sure we'll handle Publisher. But if there you can't do, just keep in mind, I'll be bombarding the platform with a lot of videos for self-study because the time is limited and probably we may not be able to cover everything as in class. So some of the things, if we can cover, those we are not able to cover, I'll just make sure I look for a good video tutorials that is teaching that thing very well. Put it on a platform for you to watch at your leisure time and still catch up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You will see a lot of videos on the platform. And so also some of the classes I'll be having with you, I may play a video alongside teaching because sometimes I'll say, okay, I'm explaining a hardware component. I'll be talking about memory, talking about how to fix certain things, and it will look theoretical. So if there is a video that is teaching that thing, I will end up playing that video and I'll be pausing in between to explain to you so that you watch and see how it is done. I hope you are getting me.
Yeah.
I hope you are getting me.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's
Yes,
one
sir.
of the tools we are going to use to bridge
Yes,
the
sir.
distance thing so that at least you can just see it in real time. When maybe I'm talking about mainframe, some of you have heard mainframe, but I don't even know how it looks like. I'll talk about abacus. I was mentioned abacus. You've heard it, but I don't even know how it looks like. So some of the pictures or videos that is explaining those things will let you know and see what that thing really looks like. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So I'll be using that interchangeably, and we'll be having a lot of videos on the platform to just help you catch up. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So this course is structured into 9 major parts, or let's say 9 modules. Okay, so we have every week we'll handle one module. That's how I've structured the course. So we have from introduction to networking, security, and emerging technology. So we have problem-based learning. You can just go through the course objective. So by the end of this course, students should be able to explain fundamentals, fundamental computing concept technologies, and the evolution of computer system, identify and describe major hardware components and their functions, explain how the CPU memory is stored. So these are the things we'll be covering. Okay, demonstrate practically in Microsoft Word, Excel, explain basic networking concepts and common cybersecurity. So these are the objective of it. Then we have the delivery format. So with the delivery format, we'll be using the GC2 learning management system, as I said earlier, to do the delivery. And there'll be video lectures there. We'll have session slides, we have reading materials, and we may have a test, quizzes, assignments, that's including 10 paper. Then there will be a group activities. It can be a discussion, it can be a presentation. So just keep that in mind. It won't be static, it may change. Depending on the question I want you guys to have, it can be a discussion or a presentation. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Then announcements will be posted on the LMS or email accordingly. So you have to be responsible to checking the announcement page all the time to see if there is an announcement there that's released to you. Now you have the learning outcome. So the learning outcome is categorized into the stand of knowledge, skills, and competence. So at the end of this course, knowledge, that's cognition, what students should know and understand. If we say knowledge, so the students will be able to describe the functions and types of operating system and various processes techniques. So we have batch, iterative, multiple. So we are going to talk about all these processes, then classify computer software into system, application, and explain basic programming language, concepts, and translators. So we'll look at those things, then explain the basic networking concepts, cybersecurity. So there's the knowledge. Then practical, what the student can do after this section. So the student can do all these things, identify, categorize computer components and peripheral accurately. So you should be able to identify. I think I'll try and see if I can get some activity where you'll be doing matching. We were doing matching when we were in lower primary. We do matching with draw lines. The LMS can equally do matching. So I'm just giving you the next stats. It's likely I'll create an activity where you have to match. You have to match a part of a hardware peripheral to the name. Do you understand? So you see the picture, they match it. So CPU, you match. Memory, you match. Power supply, you match. And all those things. So we're doing some. I'll try and create those activities when we get there on the platform so that the class will be much engaging. And you'll be doing it on the LMS. And keep in mind, all exercises I let you do are award marks behind the scene. Even though the course has its own structured form of assessment, I'll end up giving marks alongside. So I have a book here. I have a book here. So I'll just be writing your name and then put it down. As I said, by end of the semester, sometimes you may fall down at some point and you may need some few points to jump to the next stage. I'll go through that book and I can give you extra marks for class attendance and participation on the LMS. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So this is the skills you acquire. You can later download and go through. Then we have the competence you can also go through. Okay, I don't want to waste much time. Then we have the assessment and grading criteria. Okay, so we are going to have a continuous assessment, which can be either assignment, it can be a practical report, it can be a group or it can be a presentation. I haven't decided yet. And that's going to be a 20 marks. Okay, 20%. So we have a continuous. Then we are going to have a mid-semester examination. And the mid-semester examination can be any of this. It can be an online quiz, it can be a written examination, or it can be a project work. And that's also 20 marks. Then at the end of the semester, we are going to have a end of semester examination, written face-to-face exams, which is going to give you 60 marks. And the total will be what? 100 marks. So this is the form of assessment. But there will be other assessment, as I said, I will look at them. The forum, the other quizzes I'll be giving you to check your knowledge, I'll be looking at them behind the scene. It's likely maybe the continuous assessment, I may change my mind and use the one we've been doing small for every course, like every topic. Maybe every 2 topics we do a small quiz. I may end up scrubbing the continuous assessment and use that particular one as 20 marks. So as I've not decided yet, so make sure everything we do, you participate in them. So that in this case, I decide to use it, you're not coming to tell me, say I missed one of the quizzes, I missed 2 of the quizzes. Are we following? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Yeah, we are
sir.
following.
Yes, sir.
All right, I hope everything is
We are
clear. Then we have
following.
the grading criteria. So this is the grading criteria for the course. So let's start from the down to up. So below 40% is fail, F, and this run throughout all the course. Below 40% is fail. So if you are able to do the continuous assessment and even get 15, and you do the midterm and you will get 10 or 15, you have 30 marks. The exams, all that you need is what 10 marks to pass. So I don't want anybody to fail my course. 40% is very low. You should be able to get a 40 easily. Now, if you fall between 40 and 45, that is D. You get pass. Between 45 and 50, you get C minus. That is below average. Then we have what? Then we have C. That's from 50 to 55. We have C plus from 55 to 60. B minus, B plus, A minus, that is from 75 to 79.99. Then we have what? E, outstanding. So we have excellent and outstanding. That is between 80 and 100. So this is the criteria. I'm sure I'll try and see maybe during our study skills, maybe getting to the latter end, I'll see if I'll get time to also go ahead and explain the GPAs to you guys. How to calculate the GPAs. You know, we're using GPA, now you get first class, upper. Some people join the school, they go through and they don't even understand GPA. They don't even know how to calculate. So whether the system is cheating them or what they have is really what they deserve, they don't even know. They just take it like that. But sometimes there have been locations when I was doing my undergraduate, the GPA was not working well. I think it was a code error, and most of us, our GPA was brought down. So we were able to rectify it, and it was corrected. Okay, so sometimes you have to understand how it works, how to do the calculations, so that on your own, every semester you can do your calculation, and when your results are posted, you check what you've calculated and what you have on the system, whether it's the same. If it's not the same, then you can probably go to the appropriate office to let them know that after I did your calculation, you are getting this, which shows that you should be a first class student or upper student, and on the system, you are getting a lower or something. I hope you understand. I'll prefer to use the study skills page to do that because that's a joint class. So that I don't have to do something here, then I have to go there and repeat it again. Okay, but I'll do that when we get into the latter part of this. We have something to achieve for the study skills. After we'll be able to achieve everything, and there is still ample time, then we can bring in extra things. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So we have group assignments. When you have group assignments, what it means, group term and presentation, what is it? Then we have the submission guidelines. Then we have Turnitin. I didn't talk about Turnitin the last time, but we have Turnitin policy, which maybe during the study skills page, during the study skills section, we'll talk about it. You will not need it like that. Okay, then we have recommended books. So these are the books you can Google and download some of them. As I said, some are 2018, some are back then, but there are things that probably you need. So you can Google some of them. As I said, I'll put some of them on the extra page, the other reading page. Okay. Then now let's come to the detailed class schedule. So you can see I've structured everything. Even there, as I've said, I'm not done with this. I'm not done. But I just want to let you have this one. So that when I'm done fully, I'll just update it on the platform. Then I'll let you people. Okay. So that I can go back and read download. Nothing will change. It's just there are certain things I need to add, which I have not added. I'm supposed to get more pages. I just deleted, cut it short, then later I'll just add it. So we have the schedule section. So we have week 1, which we have the online synchronous section, and we are going to talk about introduction to computing and computer systems. So under this topic, we are going to look at the definition of computer, history and generation of computers, classification of computers, advantage and disadvantage of computers, the computer system, hardware, software, data, and people. Then we look at computer as a tool for problem solving. So that's week 1. Week 2, we are going to do data information and data processing concepts. So under that topic, these are the topics we are going to cover: data information concept, characteristics of good information, the data process cycle, information system theory overview. So we'll look at this. Then week 3 is a face-to-face. Then we are going to do what? Computer hardware and components and peripherals. So we look at input device, output, processing, peripherals, ports and connectivity interfaces. So that one, they will be on campus. So if I think I have some of the devices, I'll bring them along so that some of you are just doing IT, because some of you are coming from different backgrounds. You may see some of the thing and you can code it and feel it. So I'll try and see if I can get some of the devices available, then bring it along to class. But if I can't get it, we'll look for the pictures online, then we can still catch up. Okay. Then we have week 4, that is also online. We'll talk about the central processing unit and memory systems. So we are going to talk about this. You people are DIT, so I may not go deep, like dealing with the BIT students. I have to shallow small for you. So just keep in mind, yours is going to be a little shallow. Because if the BITs are doing this course, sometimes you have to go deep and go extra mile. But for the diploma, I'll try my best to bridge. I may go deep, but not extremely deep. But I'll still make sure the knowledge, you still get it. And you can still take the same exams with the BIT students and pass. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So we have the central processing unit and memory. Then we have week 5. That's going to also be an online synchronous. We look at the storage device and data management. So we look at the hard drive, the SSD. We look at the optical storage, removable storage like the pen drives and the rest. Then we look at the cloud storage concept. Some of you have heard cloud. So we look at that one. Then we look at file systems and data organization. How files are arranged or organized on those storage. How they store it. We look at all those concepts. Then we are done with week 5. Week 6 is Easter break, so no lectures. We'll go and enjoy. Those who will cry will go and cry because they've killed Jesus Christ. Okay, so we have the Easter break. Then we have week 7. We'll look at the operating system and processing techniques. So we'll look at Windows probably and some of the Linux and some of them. We'll look at a general overview of all of them, but we may dive more into the Windows. Okay. Then we'll look at the batch interaction. So we'll look at all this under week 7. If you are not able to finish, as I said, I'll look for a video that can continue. Then you make sure you bridge the gap by doing self-study. Okay. Then week 8 is asynchronous. So week 8, we are not meeting you guys. It's asynchronous study. So the asynchronous, currently I haven't decided what we'll do. It could be that we can use it for the midterm or other exercises. So just keep that in mind. Maybe the midterm, that's the 20 marks, we'll push it here. Then we'll get time to do other extra self-study or other stuff. Then we have week 8. Week 9, that we'll look at the software, computer software programming fundamentals. So we look at all these topics. Then week 10, we look at application software and hands-on productivity tools. So that's when we look at the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Publisher as an application software on working on an OS. So we'll look at that and we'll look at those things. Then, so this one we call it utility software. So we'll look at it. I think we'll get there. So don't worry. So we'll look at all those utility softwares. Then week 11 is face-to-face, where we'll be doing networking, security, ethics, and main technology. So we'll look at these ones too. I would think if we can do a little practical, how to terminate networking cables and stuff. And some of you are good at that. So I think maybe we can do this face-to-face. I'll try and make this thing a group work presentation so that we can do it. Because it's face-to-face, a group can just present so that we can ask questions to them. So it's likely this face-to-face session is going to be a group work presentation where I'll be sharing the topics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 topics. Okay, we'll look at how to. Maybe I'll handle one, then you handle the rest. So just keep in mind, we may do this week 11, a group presentation where I'll give you the topics. Then you prepare and come and present for the class. Are we okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so I think this one is very good. Then we have week 12, which is revision.
Yes, sir.
Holy, your hand is up, please. You can go ahead with your question. Holy. Oh, it was a mistake. Okay, so let's proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, please, I wanted to find out what if you are not able to come for the face-to-face? Will there be any provisions?
Okay, so wow. Okay, so I can create an arrangement for if we are not able to come face to face, then which means you don't want to come. Well, you are the one, you are not in the country.
Yes, please.
Okay, so what I can do is don't worry, I'll try and see if I can create either a Zoom link for that session. That's a personal Zoom link, not this one. Then which means you have to join on Zoom. But you may miss certain things. It's just if you join on Zoom, what you can get is probably my screen I'll be sharing. Because then I can make sure I join Zoom while teaching. I have to make sure I'm always connected to the internet and join Zoom while teaching. So what you can miss is you may see the slide and you can hear my voice from what I'm teaching. And you can follow. But probably the inputs, probably your colleagues may end up saying or talking, or you may not hear them. So you can catch up a little. You may lose some few steps. So I can create, so when it's time, maybe I can try and create that session available for those who probably can't join or can't come to the face-to-face. But when it comes to the exams, you can come. Or that one too is another issue.
So
No
we
worries. So
are
that one,
trying to
you
see.
talk to that one. When it's time, you can talk to ICD, then we'll look at that.
Okay, sir.
You can
Thank
arrange
you,
that.
sir.
Look at that. Okay, right. So let's get there. When you get there, we'll see a way how we can cross. So don't worry. Okay. All right. So we have week 12, that is revision. So under week 11, after the face-to-face, after the face-to-face or the session, we'll leave some time, some 15 minutes or 20 minutes behind so that we can use to do a recap. And in case someone has any question, the person can ask for explanation before we move to the revision. Because revision week, we are not meeting. You have to do your own revision at where you are. Then week 13 and week 14, you come and prepare and write the exams. So basically, this is the model outline, the course outline for the course. It's well explanatory, well structured. As I said, there's more, but I'll do that later. I mean, this is enough, but I'll still try and finish it completely for you guys. Jonathan, you can go ahead with your
Yes.
question.
Yeah, please. I just joined there. I want to take screenshots of this thing you are showing, please.
It's on the LMS, so you can download.
Okay.
You can download. Anything I teach you, anything you see to be on the LMS. So just visit the LMS so you can get it there. Okay.
Yeah. Please. I don't know that the LMS. I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You joined late today. Okay, so you don't worry. So you don't know anything about this learning management system. Okay, so you don't worry. What picture do you want to take so that you just take it? Or let me see if I can share it in the let me see if I can share it. No, I'm not getting a chance to attach. But where do you want to take the picture of so that I wait there?
No, I was just taking you see the schedule that you were showing. That's all I want.
Oh, okay. So let me just go again. So we have from here week 1, week 2, week 3.
Yeah.
Then we have week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7. Then over here we have week 8, week 9, week 10. Then from week 11 to 12. So that's it. All right.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I believe we are okay with it. Now on the platform, we can now start. Okay, we can now start. So on the platform, we are at week 1. I've created a page. What a page is just like the content that will be teaching, but I've done it in a form that you can read and understand, but it will not explain it into details. Some bulletin, which you can also go there, get some few stuffs, while some stuffs will be taught during the slide section. Then there'll be videos to other. So when you go through the page, I click on the page, and we have this nice page. That is module 1, introduction to computer. So that's the module 1, that's week 1. This is what we are doing. Introduction to computer and computer systems. So this module introduces the basic concepts of computer and explains how computer system functions as a tool solving problems. So why this module matters? So it's here. So as I said, computers are part of everyday life in education, business, healthcare, government, communication. Understanding how computer develop and how they function helps you to build a strong foundation for your studies in IT. So these modules introduce you to the foundation. Okay, so that's why I say that in the beginning, no matter what you do in IT, you need to understand the foundation or the fundamentals. So this is the fundamentals of foundation which you have to understand. And I have a picture here that is showing some few we have the generations of computers, then we have the anatomy of the computer. So all these things, we'll look at them we have a slide that will look at it. So we have key concepts. So definition of computer. So in your own words, how will you define a computer? Can I get the hands up? In your own words, how will you define a computer? I'll call him Mo.
Hello, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please.
A computer is an electronic device that accepts, processes, and distributes information to the end user.
Okay. That is one. Okay, so another angle. Can we have another angle? Okay, is it Richmond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go ahead, Richmond.
I would define computer as a programmable electronic device that is capable to accept data, process it into a meaningful information. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello? Sorry?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, my network went.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, so can you all see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
So
Yes,
let's
sir.
continue. Another definition. Another definition. Okay, so there are keywords that I was hearing. Someone said programmable data. Someone said programmable device. Someone also said a computer is an electronic device. So the question I want to ask is a calculator a computer?
Yes.
Is calculator a computer?
Yes,
Calculator
please.
is a computer. Okay.
Yes, please.
It's a computer. Okay. Some people think calculator is not a computer. That's what I'm asking. So as I said, all of you are right. There is no wrong answer. Okay. So over here, the division concept, a computer is an electronic device that accepts data as input. So it accepts data. So when we say data, you are talking about informations that are not clean or organized, scattered data, scattered information. So you put in a raw information which hasn't been filtered. Okay, so you put it in, then it processes it, then it gives you an output. So computer does three main things. So that's the cycle: input, processing, then output. So any device that does that qualifies to be a computer. So as I said, it accepts data as input. It processes the data according to the instruction into a meaningful output. Sometimes it can give an output that is not meaningful, though, but it will still give it an output. So which means probably the instruction you give it was not accurate. That's why the output wasn't meaningful. Because computer is in a way that what you put in is what it gives you. It doesn't think. Currently that we have this quantum AI that computers are able to think. It's not even a computer, but it's the software that is making it to think. We'll get there when you get to the latter part. But computer itself feeds, it gives you what you give. So we have what you call garbage in, garbage out. When you put in a data and you don't give it correct instruction to process it, it's also going to give you an information or an output that probably will not match what you wanted. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So we will talk about the history of computers. So we have, as I said, this one is more of bullet. So we have history of computer where we have the first generation that uses vacuum tubes and were large for expense. So the first generation of computers were very huge. I mean, and they could even occupy a whole room, but they have lower slow processing power. So we have the first generation, then we have the second generation that make use of transistors. Okay, so they made it a little smaller and it became faster than the first one. Then we have the third generation that introduces the IC, integrated circuits, that also came to improve, and it makes it a little cheaper. Then we have the fourth generation. The fourth generation is when the computer, they started introducing the personal computers, the PDAs, the laptops, and we have the fifth generation. So now we are in the era of the fourth and fifth generation. The fourth generation hasn't ended. Fourth, we are still in the, so if you're using a laptop now, you are still in the fourth generation because laptop came in through the popular computers, most of the computers we are using came in through the fourth generation era, and we are still using it. So your phones, if you have a desktop at home or in the office, your personal laptops, your tablets, all of them are the fourth generation. Sometimes people think we are in the fifth generation, we are no longer using the fourth generation. Or sometimes some people think the laptops we are using belongs to the fifth generation. They are not. So just keep that in mind. So the laptops that we are using that uses the processors, the memories, and the other tools that we are going to talk about later belongs to the fourth generation. And we are still using it. So we are still in the fourth generation. And the fifth generation has also started. That is making use of the AI, then advancements. We have quantum computers. And I think we'll talk about that later. I don't want to, because today is the introduction. I want to move very slow. Then later we'll start climbing small. Okay. Then also, if you observe, the generation came with its own speed. Each generation becomes faster. So each generation becomes faster, and the next generation becomes faster, and the size reduces, and the cost also became cheaper, and the performance increases. So you could see that there is a trend from the generations, which you see that from the first to the last generation, in terms of cost, so far, currently, it's only the fifth generation that is expensive because of its processing capability and power. But it's still cheap in a way that if it was available those days, then I don't think anyone in the world can get that money to buy such a device or a machine. Okay, so that's just the improve. Then we have the classification. We'll look at the slide. So I'm just going through. We look at the slide. We have classification of computers, where computers can be classified in three. So we have classification whereby we look at how they handle stuff. So depending on how computer handles things, you can classify. So you should know what the history, the classification, they are not the same thing. Sometimes a question will be asked on classification, and you see students entering or giving information about another thing. Okay, so the classification talks about what the things the computer can handle. So we have the analog, the data. So by handling, so we have the analog computers data, then we have the hybrid computers. So look at them, that later. Then you can also classify computers by sizes, where we have the supercomputers, the mainframe, the microcomputers, the mini computers, and the rest. Then we have the PDAs and all those stuffs. Then we have by purpose. So computers can be classified in three: by data they handle, by the size and power, then by purpose. So we have computers that are designed for general purpose, like the main computer we have. And we have some computers that are designed for special purpose, like a thermometer. Thermometer is a computer. It is designed to take temperature. Okay, so that is a special computer. A calculator is designed to only do arithmetic. You can't use it to solve English problem or science problem, like definitions. It's just meant for arithmetic. So it's a general, it's a special purpose computer. The speedometers on our cars, it only checks speed and other stuff. So those are special purpose. So that's why I say computers can be classified in these three categories. Then, even though computer is good, as we all know, it also has its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so we look at this. I want to share the slide, then we take it from there. Then we have the computer system where we talk about the data people. So let me quickly share the slide I want to use for this presentation. But before I start with the slide, I want us to watch this video. I have two videos on the platform. Let us watch so that we can get a clear understanding of this particular introduction to computer system. And I have it here. It's a short 4 to 5 minutes video. Let's all watch and listen. Even though we have the history of computer evolution videos here, let us watch this. There is, okay, so let me play and see. I want to see if you can hear the sound. Can you hear the sound?
No, sir.
You can't
No,
hear the
sir.
sound.
Yes, sir. Please, we can hear.
Oh. Can you hear?
No, please.
Okay, so let me reshare again. Sometimes. Okay, I think I've shared now.
Welcome to Fundamentals of Computing. In this first overview, we're going to lay down the foundation
Is it
for
okay
well,
now?
pretty much
Yes.
everything that comes
All
next.
right.
Think of this as the ground floor for your entire IT career. All right, so let's get right to it. We're surrounded by computers, our phones, our laptops, you name it. But if you strip away all the apps and the shiny screen, what is a computer at its most basic, fundamental level? That's the real question we're going to tackle today.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with the single most important rule in all of computing, the input, process, output. Then we'll take a quick trip through the 5 generations of computing to see how we got from these massive room-sized machines to the devices we carry in our pockets. We'll also break down the 5 pillars of a full computer system, see how computers are, and wrap up by looking at their strengths and, yes, their weaknesses as tools for solving problems.
Okay, let's start with the absolute bedrock of it all, the input-process-output cycle. It's a really simple idea, but honestly, every single computing device, from a calculator to the most powerful supercomputer on the planet, runs on the principle. So, at its heart, a computer does 3 things. First, it takes in raw data. That's the input, like when you type something into Google. Second, it crunches that data, working on it based on a set of instructions or a program. That's the process. And finally, it gives you back, the output. In our example, that would be your search results. Input, process, output. That cycle is always happening in every device.
So how did this input, process, output machine come to be? Well, its evolution can be broken down into 5 major technological leaps, or what we call generations.
The first generation used these huge, hot, and unreliable vacuum tubes. The game changer for the second generation was the transistor, which made computers way smaller, faster, and more dependable. The third generation took that even further with the integrated circuit, which crammed a bunch of transistors onto one tiny silicon chip. And that led to the fourth generation's microprocessor, an entire CPU on a single chip, which gave us the personal computer. And now, well, we're in the fifth generation, looking at things like artificial intelligence and the wild possibilities of quantum computing.
And this image right here just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got a first-gen machine that took up a whole room. On the right, a smartphone that's millions of times more powerful and fits in your pocket. That constant push to get smaller and more powerful is really the story of computing.
So we've seen how the technology itself has changed, but here's a really important idea. Even the fastest chip in the world is useless by itself. To really get computing, you have to stop thinking about a computer and start thinking about a computer system.
See, a functioning system needs 5 things working together. These are the 5 pillars: hardware, software, firmware, data, and maybe the most overlooked one, liveware. That's us. Let's quickly look at each one.
First up, hardware. This is the easy one. It's all the physical stuff you can actually touch.
Okay, so I think this video is on the platform. You can always go and watch it. And sincerely, if you watch this video alone explains what we are doing for week 1. So just watching this video alone will give you an over. And I'm going to do that for all the weeks, because I know you guys are distance learners and I don't want to stress you with plenty theories. That's what I can do to help you guys. So what I'm going to do is every week, I'm going to create a video using AI, and I'm sure in this data studies course, I'll train you how to do some of these things so that some of you can use it in your workplace and other stuffs. Okay, I'll teach you. It's part of the data studies course that we'll do. Okay, so I'll be creating videos every week for you for every model, so that even if you join late or you have just watching the 4-5 minutes video can just give you an overview, and that overview can help you when you now take the PDF and you are reading in details. That one will guide you to know what you are looking for. I hope you understand. I hope it's okay for everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's the best I can do to help you. I'll create videos for every week, every model that you can play 5-6 minutes, 4 minutes to summarize everything for you, which you can always. And I'll make sure the video will be downloadable. Okay, you can't download it on the platform, but I'll share a software, an app with you guys, which you can use to download things on YouTube. You know, these days you can't download things on YouTube easily unless you download it onto your mobile phone and use the YouTube app to watch. But what if you want to transfer it onto a pen drive and watch it on your big screen? Okay, where you can relax, get some popcorn, and you're enjoying the lectures. So I'll give you a software you can use to download things on YouTube onto your computers, and you can transfer it onto your pen drive and watch it on your TVs or on your personal computers offline. You don't need to always be online. Okay, so I'll give you guys that software at the Study Skills class so that you use that. Okay, so this is basically the introduction video for week 1, for week 1 model. So go and finish it. I don't want to finish it. Now I'm going to make this one visible. And that talks about the evolution. So I'll be playing this video and I'll be pausing to explain. Now, I know most of you have gone through the evolution of computers. You've read, but sometimes it just becomes theory. They are saying that you don't understand it. You've not even seen it before. And the rest. So this video, if really, I just Google, I was checking online and I saw this video, I watched it, and it's really explained everything which you can understand for the evolution of computers. So let me play that one, then I'll pause in between to explain as we proceed. The video is here, but I think I've already downloaded it. So let me go through my drive. Sorry. Oh wow. Wait, where is this thing? Okay, I want to look at it. So give me a minute. Let me just two videos. Okay, so I've gotten the video. I want to share the screen again. Okay. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
You
Yes,
can see
please.
it. Okay, so this is a video of the evolution of computers, like the generation from starting to end, which this video really explains everything. I know if you watch, some will understand, some will not. That's why I want to use the opportunity to point, push, and explain. Because not all of us have this IT background. Some of us are coming from different fields. So if I just leave the video, I'm doing a disservice to some of you. Okay, so let's explain, because this particular introduction has this thing in heart, the revolution. It starts the revolution. So to keep that in mind, the revolution. And that particular revolution, questions can be set, a full question can be set around it. So take that one serious. Take that one serious, because you have to really understand where computer came from and where we are now. As a computer scientist, even if you don't know anything, you should know the history of what the field you said you find yourself, or the field you want to become a master in. You should know the history at your fingertips. So just keep that in mind. I think I've given you tips for even a possible exams question, right? I've given tips, right?
Yeah.
For a possible exam question. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's
The
go ahead.
computer is such an important component of modern life that it is hard to imagine the world. Before the computer, the first devices used by primitive people for counting.
So who knows? Before computer, what were people using for counting? Who have any idea? Any idea? Okay, Richmond. Richmond, go ahead. Hello?
So, sir, can you
Richmond.
hear me?
Yeah, I can
Please,
hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying abacus.
Abacus. Okay. There's no wrong answer. Okay, Jonathan.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
I think what he said is true. Abacus, that was what it was in my mind.
Okay. So who again? Who again? Okay. So there's no wrong answer here, but unfortunately, that is not the right answer. Abacus is the first computer. Before computers, there was no abacus. So abacus fall within the first generation of computers. But before computers, abacus, people were using it. But before abacus, what people were using were normally stones and sticks. Before a device came into being, people were using stones and bins and stones. We also use it in the past. We use stones to do calculation. Even when we were in lower primary, nursery, we were using stones, then chalk and stuff. Some of us we even use counters to do addition and subtraction. You put it at one side and you remove some. When you are doing subtraction, then you take some off. And that idea is what created the abacus. Okay, so before the abacus, we were using stones and stuff. Then they created a computer or an idea, like a device. Now you give it an input, you process it, and it gives an output as an abacus from the idea of using stones and sticks. I hope you understand.
Were sticks, stones, and bones. The invention process of the computer started around 3,000 years ago. The computer started out as an abacus. An abacus is a rack made of wood with two wires running parallel to each other.
seen the abacus before? How many of you have seen it before? You know, when
Yes, sir.
you've seen that before, eh? I think when you go to the nursery schools, previously they used to have a slate that children write on. It's a small slate, then they've done something like this at the top, where the children can use to do addition and subtraction. So that's the abacus. But this time we've modified and we added a slate or a board under it. And I'm sure most of you have seen such thing before when you were in school or maybe your children or your nephew or someone, you were using it in school. So that's basically the abacus. That was basically used for arithmetic, addition and subtraction. It was not doing multiplication. It was not doing division. Only for adding. Okay, so let's get that. I'm stressing on certain things which I can ask objective questions on. So as I'm teaching, you should be careful and pay attention to some of the things I'm stretching on because they are possible objectives or written questions. So me, the way I teach, if you always join my class, to tell you the truth, sometimes you don't even need to learn a lot for the exams. You'll be fine. Because before the class end, at least you should get 1 or 2 questions off it, which it can come in the exams. So as I'm teaching, I advise if you have some book, you'll be writing some of the questions down. What I'm stressing on, then you write it down. Okay, this can be a question. You write it somewhere. Write it somewhere. All right. Johnson, your hand is up.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you are saying that the abacus was actually used for only addition, right?
Yes, and then.
And then, okay, so what was being used for the multiplication and all those stuff?
Okay, so when it came to the second generation, so let's go. You see it's there.
Okay,
So
sir.
you see, so there was the abacus has its own limitations, and that leads to the other generations of computers. So let's just watch it so that you understand it perfectly.
Okay, sir.
Currently, people can use abacus for multiplication, but then they didn't have the idea they can use it. You know, now children can even use their fingers. They do some calculations before you even finish asking the question, the child will give you the answer. And you've been seeing it where they use their fingers to do some stuffs. And previously, people didn't have that knowledge. So the abacus was just used for just arithmetic, addition, and subtraction. And in our school, when we're even using this in school, that's the same thing we do. If they say 7 plus 4, you pull 7, you pull 7 down, then you add 4 to it, then you count all. 7 minus 4, you add 7, then you take 4 out, then you count what is left. But we're not using it for multiplication. If you could go back and record if you used it before, and then. All right, so let's continue.
On the wires, there are beads. By moving the beads, anyone can solve simple math problems. The first digital computer, called Pascal, was invented in 1642 by Blaise Pascal. It consisted of numbers entered in dials, but it could only add. It added numbers entered and was made to help his father, a tax collector.
So this was also another computer after abacus, which he created for also addition. But this one was more of advanced than the abacus. It looks much better than abacus, but it can also do addition, only arithmetic. And from the history, he created it because his father was a tax collector and he needed a way to help his father calculate the money fast. I hope you get it. So let's go ahead.
The basic principle of his calculator is still used today in water meters.
So that basic principle from the video letter so that we still use it. So from the water meter, the meter that ECG gives us, do you see the number coming down? No, it always add. It always goes up. If you want you to come back, no, let's maybe you go and look for your own tools and go and open the meter and go and reset it back. You can't. And that same technology is what we have as odometer in our cars today. Your odometer always read up, it doesn't come back. Or we have someone here whose odometer sometimes can come down, car's odometer. It doesn't return. It always goes up. I was told there are some people who can do some things to bring it down. But if that's the case, fine. But the main purpose of it is to always go up and never comes down. So that's the same technology that's being used in our water meters today and our car odometers, and even the old ECG meters. That reads and the number counting. That's the same technology. It doesn't go back. It always add and always add. Okay. So just keep that one in mind.
And modern-day odometers. Although it did offer a substantial improvement over manual calculations, only Pascal himself could repair the device. And
so this was one of the limitations. It was working better, but it's only Pascal who can repair it. So which means if you buy the machine and you have issues, you always have to go look for Pascal. And that's going to cause a lot of inconvenience. And it's going to be too much cost efficient. Like it's going to create more cost for you, the person who is using it. I hope you understand. So that was one of his limitations. And the next generation came. So this one has a limitation of 1. It can only be maintained by Pascal himself. And 2, it is only doing additions. It can't do the other arithmetic. So the generations was in, sometimes they'll tell you first generation, second generation, third generation, and certain things are skipped. But sometimes within a generation, different computers came or different, we will not see it as computer now because of how we are advanced with technology. But at then, that is a computer to them. So within a generation, sometimes 2 or 3 things will come, then it moves to another generation. Just as in our generation, the 4th generation, we saw an upgrade in certain things before moving into the 5th generation where the AI came over. Okay, even the 5th generation, we have the AI, we have robotics, we have 3D printing, we have a lot. Do you understand? And all of them are happening in a generation. That doesn't mean in the one generation, only one thing happened. Just keep that in mind. In a generation, it's not just one thing, that sometimes it's only one thing that happened, but sometimes in a certain generation, there are 2 things that came before moving on to what? The next generation. I hope that point is also clear. All right. So let's continue.
it cost more than the people it replaced at work. However, in 1671, another computer was invented by Gottfried Wilhelm von Leibniz and was eventually built in 1694. Unlike Pascal's computer, Leibniz's could add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
So the person who asked question, have you seen when multiplication and division came in?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what we should just go for it. But so this video, I really watched the video. I really like because I was preparing the slides for it, and I said, no, let me just check a video because I think if there is already a video with pictures and videos that can explain it better. It's better I get it for you guys than me giving you just the slide and talking, and we go back to what? Cost 90. Where you can see the whole thing. I hope you understand. So I really watched the video and I realized the video is best explaining the history very well. That's why I decided to share with you. So I'm going through and explaining it till we finish the video so that we can know that we are done with what the history of computers, the history of generations. All right.
The speed of calculation for multiplication or division was acceptable, but like the Pascaline, this calculator required that the operator using the device had to understand how to turn the wheels and know the way of performing calculations.
So you see the limitation of this one too. So each of them have limitations that pushed for the next. Okay, so with this one limitation too, you have to get an operator who really understands how to use it, how to fine-tune it for addition, how to fine-tune it for multiplication, how to fine-tune it for division, and the rest. And probably at that era, people with that expertise were not that much. So it became another issue because they should be able to do it by themselves. They don't need an expert. Imagine now, you need an expert before you can do a mere division on a calculator. That's going to really cause a problem. So it becomes also a limitation. So just get that in mind. When the questions are coming and the limitations are being asked per a particular device, you should know the answer. Okay, all right.
With the calculator. Before I continue to the history of computer in the early 19th, the concept of a programmable computer. Considered the father of the computer, Charles, you will be the first to know when we post new videos on ancient and modern tech inventions. Haven't said that, let's dive back in. In 1800s, Charles Babbage.
So how many of you have heard of Charles Babbage? How many of you have heard of okay, Richmond? Okay, what do you know about him? He's known for one main thing. Richmond, you had this up?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, what I heard about him is that he's the father of computers.
Okay.
He was the first person to invent a programmable computer.
Okay, good. And some of you have done history classes in the past. That's good. So he is widely known as the father of computers. So if today is the first time you are hearing his name, just keep in mind that he is well known that he is the father of computers, programmable computers, because he invented programming. So that's it for Charles Babbage. And the same way, we also have father of internet in Africa, who is a Ghanaian. Maybe later we'll get there when we get to the internet aspect. So father of internet for Africa, who is a Ghanaian. So
an English mechanical engineer and polymath, originated the concept of a programmable computer. Considered the father of the computer, he conceptualized and invented the first mechanical computer in the early 19th century. In 1827, after convincing the British government to finance his project, he worked for years on his difference engine, a device intended for the production of tables. While he produced prototypes of portions of the difference engine, eventually, he gave up. In 1854, he decided to build an analytical engine, which was also left unfinished. However, his proposals for mechanical computers predated the modern reinvention of computers by almost a century. Because of this accomplishment, Charles Babbage has earned his place in history as the father of computing. A step towards automated computing was the development of punched cards, which were first successfully used with computers in 1890 by Herman Hollerith and James Powers, who worked for the U.S. Census Bureau.
I'm sure most of you have heard of the punch cards to the past, but at least you can see how it looks like. It was also used.
They developed devices that could read the information that had been punched into the cards automatically without human help. Because of this, reading errors were reduced dramatically, workflow increased, and most importantly, stacks of punched cards could be used as easily accessible memory of almost unlimited size. Furthermore, different problems could be stored on different stacks of cards and accessed when needed. The history of computer development is often referred to as the different generations of computing devices. Each generation of computers is characterized by a major technological development that fundamentally changed the way computers operate, resulting in increasingly smaller, cheaper, more powerful, efficient, and reliable devices. The different generations of computing devices are 1. First-generation computers, 1940-1956. The first computers used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory.
So,
First-generation computers, 1940-1956. The first computers used vacuum
tubes. So these are how they look like. And I'm sure most of us have heard, but we don't even know how it looks like. Richmond.
Yes, sir. Please, I just want to be clear about this, if you can help me. From the video, you see that we had dates like 16, getting to 18. But when they were giving the first generation the date, they started from 1940 to 1956. So my question is why? Because you have also told us that the abacus is also part of the first generation computer. Looking at the date, but why the date starts from 1940? Thank you.
Okay, so the abacus, as I was saying, remember I said that at then that technology and other stuff wasn't there. So at then they see the abacus as a computer, and that was the first let's say device that was created for calculations in terms of using a device. So with this generation is talking about after the father of computer came into the system, tried to do programmable computers. So from this generation is when programmable computers came into being. I hope you are getting me. So
yes, sir.
Actually, the generation itself, when we are talking about the first generation, in terms of programmable computers, we can start from the 1956, the 18, but the first one was when the programmable computers was not existent. It wasn't there. So whilst computer wasn't there and people don't know because I made you aware that calculator is a computer, right?
Yes.
So at then, people were doing calculations, but without any device. So the first device they created was the abacus to help them do calculations before they moved to the other. But all those things were not programmable. Do you get it? They were not
Yes, sir.
programmable. So to be clear, these are talking about when programmable came into the system, where you get devices that are programmable. Are you okay now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, why do I keep on exiting this? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. But your screen
The
is
screen
off.
just went,
Yes,
the
please.
screen dropped. My touches, sorry. Yeah.
Please, we can't hear you. We can't hear the sound from the video.
You can't hear the sound. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
we can't hear the sound.
Okay, from
For memory. They were often huge, occupying entire rooms, very expensive to operate, used a great deal of electricity, and generated a lot of heat.
So these are some of the limitations of the first generation's programmable computers, where they are huge, they occupy a whole space, they generate a lot of heat, it needs a lot of electricity. Okay, so you can see a picture of just a computer. And to tell you the truth, the processing power of these computers too, they can't even process things in even kilobytes. These big computers, their storage are not even up to 1 megabyte. Now that we have a memory card that is 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, and the rest, these big things were not even up to megabytes. I'm sure maybe later if you read more about it, you can get the data. So I've read it before, where you can see how the storage they have. It's 20 kilobytes. So sometimes, even as a programmer, when I was learning programming, I was wondering that, so if at then these people were using this kind of computers and they were able to create things, why can't we do more now? You understand the question? IT guys. IT
Yes,
guys, are
sir.
we here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because the kind of computers they were having and the processing power and how slow it is, and they were able to manufacture airplane, they were able to do a lot of, they were able to create things that we are still using now. From then, now that we have the power in our hand, what is preventing us from doing more? And I think it's a question for another day, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we should just think about it. So it's just a thought. A lot came to my mind when I was doing it. I said, these people are aware. So let's
which was
continue.
often the cause of malfunctions. First-generation computers relied on machine language to perform operations, and they could only solve one at a time. Input was based on punched
So I
cards.
think I wanted to play the video. You have this class at 8, right? What's the next
Yes, sir.
class? 8.
It's 7 to 9.
The next class is at 9. And you have
Yes,
next
please.
class at 9. It's
Yeah,
almost 9. Wow. Okay, so
yes, yes, please.
what I'll do is it's 9:15, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it 9 or 9:15?
8:58.
The next class is
Pardon?
The
9.
next
Course
class is at 9:15.
9:15. Okay, so what I'll do is I think I've covered a lot of the video. I'll leave you to finish it. Finish the video. And I think if you have any question after completing the video, next week when we meet, we can look at it. Now, I want us to look at this slide. Actually, the video and everything is in the same. It's the same thing. So there are some people who prefer to watch video to understand. Some prefer to read slides. Some prefer to read books. So everything is marrying each other. If you want the slide, you want to read the slide. The slides are there. Now, what I do is sometimes for the same model, I may create 2 different slides with the same content. One may be more explanatory, one may be less explanatory. Depending on which one you think is best for you, you can adjust with it. It's not all of them, but some of them I may put 2 slides to it so that you can download any of them. But I may end up using 1 slide for the presentation, but the other slide will also be available in case you want to look at it. So let me just share this slide quickly before the time elapses. I have 2 slides here. Let me see which one I'm going to share. Okay, so you can see this slide, right?
Yes,
So this
sir.
one is 20 slide. I have the other one which is more than 20, but it's the same thing though. It's just some of the wording are different. So we spoke about the introduction, which we already know about this. We defined computer, which we already okay, as an electronic device that accepts data as input and process it. Also, I made you aware that computer goes through a cycle, which you have the input, processing, and output. That's the cycle which computer goes through. Then we have the core functions of a computer, which takes raw data and process it into what? A meaningful information. So these are all a definition. And the universality, there's stuff to solve a problem or a problem. So when you are defining a computer, make sure you have all these 3 in it. 3 in it. So it has to take an input, it has to process into a meaningful information. Okay, so just make sure you have it. Now we have pillars of a computer system. So computer, before we have a computer system. So what makes up a computer system? A computer system is made up of 4 main pillars. We have the hardware. Sometimes some people say, oh, a computer system is just a hardware and a software. But we have what the hardware, which is what the tangible things we see. The computer, the system in it, the keyboard, the mouse, everything that we need is the hardware, the one that is tangible, physical component that we see. Then we have the software. The software is intangible, we can't see it, but it's in a computer. So which is probably the OS that we have, operating system. It can be a Windows, it can be a Mac OS, it can be a Unix, it can be a Linux. They are all intangible, but they are in the computer. Without the software in the computer is useless. That's why if your OS, your operating system corrupts, when you're on your computer, you can't do anything. Even though you have a computer, you have to go for someone to format it for you, install a working operating system, that's a software, before you can use the computer. Then we have the data. So the computer system, after you get the hardware and the software, you have a data that is being processed. So there should be a software on the computer that can process the raw data. So if you use a Word or PowerPoint like this you are creating, there should be either a PowerPoint presentation software on your Mac or computer. Then you feed it into the data in order to get the output. And the most important thing that we usually forget, or people forget, is us. We call ourselves live. Well, we the users. Without us, the computer is not complete. Even though we have automation, but for a computer to do automation, there should be a person to instruct the computer to do automation. Are you getting it? So these are the 4 main pillars of a computer. Sometimes some books will say 5, they'll bring firmware. And there is firmware. When you say firmware is there are programs that have been programmed into the components of the hardware, like the hardware components, like the processor and the memory. When you get further, we'll talk about it. The processor and the memory, there are programs on them, and they have programmed them to do certain things. So the memory is there to only store something. The hard disk is there to also store something. The processor is there to process certain things. So that's the firmware. So sometimes some books will tell you there are 5 pillars. So just keep in mind, in case you are reading somewhere you see 5 pillars, don't be worried. But this is the main 4 pillars. So if an exam scam may decide to use the 5 pillars, fine. Any good lecturer should know that some books say 4, some books say 5. I hope you are getting me. So if you decide to add the firmware as part, that's also good. But sometimes the firmware is not captured because they categorize the firmware as part of the software, because there are some programmable software that are in the hardware. Do you understand? So these are the 4 main pillars of a computer system. 4 main pillars of a computer system. So if a question is asking of a pillars of a computer system, this is what the lecturer wants to get. Okay. Then as I explained, we have the hardware, which talks about the physical, which I've already explained. We have the CPU, the keyboard, and the other stuff. So if you see I/O, it means input or output devices. So at the keywords aspect, I expect someone to go and add it there. Okay. If you see SSD, it means solid state hard drive. You see HDD, hard drive. We did CPU. Okay, so let's build that particular library for ourselves. Okay, so that's it. I've already spoken about the hardware. Then I spoke about the software, which is invisible, you can't see. Okay, so we have the software, the application, the interview study. So that's what I'm saying. If the categories as 4, then they're adding the firmware as part of what the software. But sometimes some books will split it and separate the firmware from the software. Then we have so over here, classify the firmware and the liveware as one. So the firmware is this and the liveware. So you can see that join them together. Right. So that's it. Then how the system integrates. So we have the hierarchy in which computer system works. So we have the user, application, and the system software hardware. So that's the hierarchy. So a user will sit behind a machine. The user will use an application software. When you on your computer, you sit behind, you will use an application software. And an application software will need the system software to be working properly before it can interact with all the hardwares. So that's how it works. So that's the hierarchy. Then we have the collaboration. All these components are supposed to intermarry. They need to work together. If they don't work together, the work will not be executed. So if the hardware is there, the software OS is there, but the application software is not there. User, when you sit behind the machine, you can't do anything. Imagine you'll be given a brand new machine without Photoshop or maybe Illustrator or CorelDRAW, and you have been given that you should do a design. Someone will be smart and open Paint, but imagine there is no Paint on the OS, which is you can't do the design because the application software is missing. even though a user is there. And also, if the application is there and the user is not there, the application itself can't do its own design. A user needs to what? To operate it. Now, everything is set, but there is no mouse. How can a person? So, if the hardware part is also missing, then there's another wahala. So, all this needs to collaborate with each other in order for a computer system to work well. Then we have the dependencies. Hardware relies heavily on the firmware application. So, as I said, the hardware relies on the firmware. So, the firmwares are the programs that are on the chips in the system unit. So, what we have in the processing, telling the processor what to do, what we have in the memory, telling it to do. So, the hardware itself relies on that for it to work. Then, applications relies on what? The operating system. So if I give you a software, an application software for Windows, and you go and insert your pen drive in a Mac OS operating system or a Linux or a Unix, the application cannot work because they are different platforms. That's the same way if you bring a software from maybe a Mac and you come and put it on a Windows machine, it will not work. So the application rely on the OS, so they have to interact, understand each other. Even Windows itself, sometimes the application have to be compatible with the version of operating system. Sometimes if you have Windows SP software, old software you're using, and you try to install it on current Windows 11, you are going to have compatibility issue. It will not allow you to install. How many of you have faced such problem before? How many of you have faced such problem before? How many of you? So that problem is also there where it will not install because they need to interrupt. Then we have the seamless operation. So we've spoken about the history, which has been covered here, which you can watch the video to catch up. I didn't finish with the video. So we have all these things were covered in the video. So if you watch the video to the end, you see all this. Okay, then we have the fifth generation that I explained earlier. The first generation was with the vacuum tubes. Second, introduced transistors, which were smaller. And the third introduced integrated because the transistors were becoming hotter and hotter. So the integrated circuit, that's the ICs, came in so that it makes the work easy. And the IC became very small, and that's when the computer started becoming small. Then the fourth generation introduced the microprocessor. That's what we have. The microprocessor. I know some of you haven't seen, but I think I have one somewhere here. I'll try and bring it to the office. Currently, most of the computers that are coming, they've done the processor that it is installed permanently on the motherboard. You can separate it. Previously, you can remove the processor, then upgrade to a higher version, install it, you put the fan on it to cool it. But now, the new machines that are coming, they've embedded it. So which means sometimes you can't upgrade your processor. If you bought a machine and it's Core i3, it's going to be Core i3 forever. But previously, you can change the processor by Core i5 processor and install in it. But most of the ones, as I said, they've embedded it. And I don't know why they started doing that. Then we have the fifth generation, which I think we spoke about at the earlier stage. Also, we talk about classification of data, classification of computer in terms of data handling. So we have the analog, we have the digital, we have the hybrid. So we have the analog that measures physical quantity in an order. Like, so the analog usually goes in, I wish I could get you a picture of it. It runs smoothly, like a curve that goes down, and I think I have a picture somewhere. I can show you. And we have a digital that deals in zeros and ones. So the computers are digital. It's either 0 or 1. When we get to the binary representation of computer, we'll get into that. Then we have the hybrid that does both. Okay, that are sometimes hybrid, but those are used for special computers, and the hybrid computers are used in something like healthcare, hospital. They are used for certain things, special. It's very expensive. Okay, so that's it for the hybrid. Then we have classification of computers by sizes and power. So we have the supercomputers. Before we came to the mainframes, Before we came to the mini, then currently we are the micro computers. And I'm sure some of these things you will understand them. Then we have other classification by purpose. So we have the general purpose. I think we did this one earlier. That's why I'm just brushing through. The general purpose, then we have the special purpose. So we have special like ATM, washing machine. They are only made for just one purpose. But the general purpose are designed to do a lot of things. And the laptop and the computer is one of the general purpose computers. In other words, I want special purpose. So key characteristic of a computer. So computer, you need to look at what the speed. The computer have to have a speed. That's the characteristic. Then we look at accuracy, precision from zero errors. Then we have the intelligence. So a computer has speed and it can process tens from millions in seconds. That's why you can open a computer, then type a lot of figures. 20 times 9 divided by 4. Like just do it. As soon as you click on enter, it just processes it with speed and give you what? The solution. And accuracy. So it is precise when it comes to what? Some of these things. It's very precise. It gives zero errors, but garbage in, garbage out. When you feed in with a garbage or you feed in with a data which is not, which has issues, it can give you what? The output, depending on what? The input you give it. But if you feed in with a correct input, you are going to get that accuracy. So the accuracies are there. Even if there will be error, it will be a minor error. Minor error. Okay. But the errors will come in when we come to the AI stuffs. The AI is what probably sometimes you get errors. But when we are dealing with just a programmable computer, which has been programmed, it does the same thing perfectly. Then we have the diligence. So classification of computers. Computers can work without getting tired. So it works, it can work automate without getting tired. The only thing is that is after it works for a while, probably it will become hot. And sometimes it can becoming slow, so you have to restart. But it can still continue after restart and working. And if you have it in a cool place whereby you have air conditions to support it, it can work continuously and can. So that's why we have servers that are running 24/7. They don't shut down. But human can't do that. Then we have storage. So computer also have a vast amount of data for retrieval. So as far as you have a storage device that is huge inside a computer, if you have 5 terabytes, 4 terabytes, you can store a lot of things there. So the storage is up to you. As far as you can store it, it's there and you can easily retrieve it. Anything you store there, you can easily retrieve. It's not like human that sometimes you learn and you forget and you find it difficult to retrieve what you've learned. Apart from all this, we have advantages where I spoke about the automation. So you can set it up to automate, do the same tasks automatically, thereby reducing pressure on humans. So you can spend time to do other stuffs. And that's one advantage of computers. Also, it's also helping connectivity where you can connect with globally. Just as we are now, we are using Teams and we are connected wherever we find ourselves. Then it can handle multitasking. So you can see on the PC, I was on Teams and I also was playing VLC. I opened the browser and it's doing everything simultaneously. And that's multitasking. So that's one advantage of computers. Then upgrade ability. You can upgrade your computers. That's what I said. It's only currently that the processors, I don't know why they did it that way. Previously, you can update the hardware, some of the processors. But now, all the computers you have inbuilt onboard processor. So even if you have an issue with the processor, you can't just, you have to remove all the motherboard, and replace the whole thing all over again. I think maybe they wanted to make more money. Because previously, sometimes you only have issues where you need to only change the processor and you are back on track. But now you have to change the whole board. Okay. So we have, so even though you can't change the processor for some of the computers, there are still certain things you can upgrade. You can upgrade your memory. If your machine is running a 4 gig and it's slow, you can upgrade it to 8 gig or 16 gig or even sometimes 32 gig or above, depending if the motherboard can support that upgrade. So every motherboard has the upgrade capacity. Sometimes IT experts doesn't even know. Every motherboard has some motherboards can take up to maximum 16 gig memory. Some people doesn't know. So you can go and buy 32 gig and put it on the computer. Some computer may on, but when you go inside into the properties and you check the memory, you see that the system only will record only 16 gig RAM, even though you have put 32 gig RAM. So it means the other 32 is waste. The system is not using it. Every system has an upgrade capacity. So you have to know, as an IT specialist, you have to know the computer you are upgrading. Then if you are advising a client, you tell, okay, I think your machine, we can upgrade up to 16 gig. You can upgrade up to 24 gig, you can upgrade up to 32 gig or 64 gig. So those things can be upgraded. You can even upgrade your keyboard. Some computers comes with just a keyboard. You can upgrade it and add keyboard with lights and the rest. So that's one advantage of what? A computer. Despite all this advantage, it has also limitations or disadvantage. So we have zero creativity. So computer cannot generate ideas independently. So there's no creativity. Okay. But now with advent of AI is helping us to bridge that gap. Okay. AI is helping to bridge that gap. But for computers alone, it's zero creativity. What you feed in, what it gives you back. So we have here the Gigo. That's the most common thing. Yvonne, your hand is up.
Please, it's time for our next class.
Okay. So let me finalize. So we have the Gigo in, then we have the security threat, then we have health. And so I'll put a slide on the platform after this section so that you can always go and download it. Then I think that's end the section. And Oli.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And sir, please, I would like to find out if maybe the recorded version of this class can be posted to help us.
You get the recorded. So the recorded version will be on the YouTube channel for ICD. At the same time, I'll put it on the learning management system. It will be edited within a week. So within a week, they'll edit it, make sure all the noise and other things that were captured that were not necessary will be taken off from the video. Then the finalized one will be uploaded on YouTube.
Okay, sir.
So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. By the same time, I'll try and put it on the LMS platform.
Okay, sir. And then secondly, regarding the WhatsApp group, we those that joined recently, if maybe the schedules for the various classes, and then the links can be reposted to help us join as well, sir.
Oh, okay. So I think that is fine. So I think I have the WhatsApp group. So this is the end of the slide. So I'll put a slide on the platform so that you have a look at it in case you have any question. I think next week, because today was the introduction. Today is the introduction. We just have to rush through, but from next week, everything will be fine. So I'm just sharing the chat. Those of you, I'm just saying in the chat room. I've shared the DIT WhatsApp in the chat room, so you can join in case you are not on the page. So let's end today's section. We'll continue next week, Saturday. So bye for now. Okay. So bye. You can leave the class. Yes, so kindly join the next class. I think the time is up. Moses, if you have any question, let's do that to next week so that you can join the next class. Okay.
It's just about the software you said you sent to us to upload the videos from YouTube.
Yeah, I'll meet you at tomorrow class, digital studies. So we'll handle it there. That one is digital studies one. So we'll handle it there. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, sir.
All right. So we meet again. Okay. Bye.